Alright, hey guys, this is going to be another one of my game reviews, and as I said before, I'm going to be reviewing the Chronicles series, the second and third one. I already made the second one. You guys should have already watched that. So today, I'm going to be reviewing the third one, for Final Fantasy, A Crystal Chronicles, The Crystal Bearer. So, I'm going to try to keep this about half hour, because the first one, I didn't realize it, but it's like an hour long. So, I apologize for that now. I don't expect you guys to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to try to keep all these game reviews about a half hour long. So, I'll just do a little bit of recap of how I'm going to review the game, and then I'll get right into it. So, right here, I have a list of things about the game that I liked, which is not a lot, and that I hate. You see, the list is quite long. I'm actually missing a few things. And the cutscenes I liked and hated. I didn't like any. And up here is what I rated the game. I'll get into that. So, first, I'll get into what I liked, just slightly, and then I'll finish it with the like. Just because the only two things I liked were the concept and the ending. So, I'll cover the ending at the end of this review. So, the concept. I like the concept of what they were trying to do. They were trying to make it a little more interactive Final Fantasy. I understand that. I liked it. I liked that idea. But everything else in the game was just so bad that I didn't care. I barely wanted to finish beating this game. I did not want to finish beating this. I was just... Last night, because I just beat this game last night, I was standing there like, what should I play? Like, this game's like right in front of me. I was like, I don't want to play it. Like, it was just, it was painful that way. But I figured I'll play it anyways. I did not even know I was at the final part. Thank God I was. But I didn't even know I was at the final area. I was expecting a little more than what happened. But anyways, so I'll go to the ending. Now, I was going to finish that at the end, but whatever. I'll do it now. So the ending, I'm not going to give out too much information, but if you don't want to get any spoilers, I would leave now, just because I might give some spoilers. Really, the game's not really worth playing, but I'll just say the ending. I liked the ending. It was pretty cool. The final boss was pretty hard, but you don't really get too much chances. Like, of course, if you die, there's really no, like, bad thing that happens. You just restart in that same spot, which I'm happy, because the final boss, you gotta do a lot to fight him. It's just, first you gotta rip all the stuff on this side of the head, then you gotta rip all the stuff off of this side of the head, while fighting the, dodging the big arm. Then I think you go on top and rip off all the guns and start shooting at them. If you shoot at the arm, you get rid of the arm, and that's an achievement. Then you just gotta keep blasting at the thing's cannon, or wherever you blast. I'm not really sure where you blast. I just blasted at random. After you do that, you have to do something else, or I forget what. I think you rip off some more face armor. Yeah, you rip off some more armor on the chest. And note you're dodging a big giant hand, somehow it came back to life. So you're dodging that thing. And you're the little robot things that are flying around, they don't really do much. They're mainly health if you kill them. But they're just pesky, because they're just in the way. And it was pretty hard to dodge a big hand, because they don't really give you too much chance to move. You have to move a little area this big, and the hand takes up like that much space. So you only have like that much room to escape. and you really don't have a chance. You pretty much have to get hit, unless you're really good. And I didn't care. I just wanted to beat it. After about 3 tries, I managed to do it. But the ending scene was pretty interesting. I liked how it ended. It was really good. And I will say, I did like, they did do a good job on the voice acting. Like, I played games where their mouth is moving, and sound is not coming out. So, they're talking like this, and only like a little bit of sound comes out. But they pretty much aimed it pretty exact. From their mouth was opening and closing, to when it stopped, they stopped talking. I like that. I like that they did good voice acting. So, what else? Oh, I'll talk about the cutscenes that kind of made me laugh. Or what pissed me off. So, this game is full of stupid cutscenes. You know, Final Fantasy games, they are kind of outrageous. They don't really go with the laws of gravity and death and that kind of stuff. But, I'll say a few scenes I hated, a few scenes I liked. There wasn't too many I liked. Most of them kind of pissed me off. But, I'm just going to get into the opening scene. You see a bit of it on the back of the cover. And, although it was interesting, it was intense. As much as this game could be intense. It was just dumb. It was just plainly dumb. So this is the scene of an event. They're hired to protect the ship. Not that major, no. And the ship gets attacked, obviously, by a Uke named Mita. I don't know, some Mita softens. And well, you think she's attacking the ship. You kind of instantly know she's not. I knew instantly, but sorry if I ruined anything for you guys. But she's not attacking the ship. There's a reason for that. It somewhat gets covered through the story. But so your character's idea was to rip off the gun on his ship. Bear with me here. Now, that's just a dumb idea as it is. He just could have used the ship to kill the bad guys. Nope. He ripped the gun off. Maybe I missed something. But, ignoring that part for a second. Now, instead of using the gun on the ship, because the ship was still usable, it was not damaged, he throws the gun off of the ship. Now, you're probably thinking, why? Well, his bright idea was to jump off of the ship, grab the gun, start falling down to earth, and then the little mini game happens, and you start shooting things. Yeah, it was fun. That was kind of fun, falling down, shooting at things. But it doesn't last long. It's probably the funnest part in the game. And no, this game is full of mini games, which I hate. I'll get into that in a few minutes. And all they were doing, all it was him grabbing the gun, throwing it off the ship, and jumping and grabbing the ship. I mean, jumping and grabbing the gun. So my question is, that gun is probably heavier than he is. So one, that should have fell before him. Like when he threw it, it kind of just hung there, just until he jumped and grabbed it. I think he might have used his crystal powers to hold on to it, but I don't know. It was done. The funnest part in the game, but whatever. So about a little ways through, there's a scene where you're being chased by a bunch of guards on those chocobos, or chickens. I'm just gonna call them chickens because it's funnier. So you're being chased by a bunch of people on chickens. And during the scene, if a guard gets too close, you end up pulling out a sword and blocking it and thrusting until you or the other guy falls off. So I'll get to that part in a little second. I'm just bringing that up. But anyways, it ends up with you and that girl Belle falling off a cliff. So, of course, this guy has already defied the law of death, pretty much, by jumping off his ship and pretty much lightly landing on the ship he's falling towards. But he falls pretty hard, pretty much into rocks. So, the scene opens up where he wakes up and he sees Belle taking his wallet. Your instant reaction to someone taking your wallet is, what the fuck are you doing? Or punching him in the head. I know she's a girl, but whatever. And he says, what are you doing? In whatever way he says it. And she says, oh, well, I was just taking your wallet to hold on to. He believes it. I don't know how, but he does. And she goes, oh, well, she says something like, well, I'm sorry, but most people falling from a 50-foot drop or 100-foot drop, whatever she said, usually don't live. And as soon as I seen that, I started laughing my ass off, because you usually don't live. And she kind of made it worse for her, because she fell off that cliff too. She shouldn't be alive. I don't know. And then the last scene, well, there's a lot of scenes in between that kind of bugged me. But this is the scene that bugged me the most. It wasn't much. The scene was pretty simple. But this is what happens. At the end, you talk to your friend Heist. And he said, okay, we're ready. Are you ready to do this? If you say yes, you walk through the gate. If you say no, you do your preparations. So, of course, I said yeah, because who the fuck cares? I just want to get this done. So, it goes with you guys talking, and then you walk through the gate closes behind you. You're on the other side of the gate, you assume. No! When the fucking thing starts, you're at the other side of the gate where you just talk to Heist. It couldn't fucking teleport you a few steps. It literally shows you walking beyond that door, and then it puts you on the other side. That's just bad editing. That pissed me off. But okay, those are pretty much the scenes that bugged me. Okay, so now for the list of stuff I hate about this game. And that's pretty much everything else. But I'll go through it as easy as possible. Now, the first thing I hated was the story plot. Now, there was a plot there. While I'm saying it, I'll say ways to make this game a lot better. Right? This could have been easily a game of the year if they did it right, but they didn't. So, I just can mention first that everything in this game was a fucking mini game. From jumping off the plane shooting at things to pretty much anything else. It's all a mini game. It's just like playing a mini game based into a full game. And that bugs the shit out of me. I don't mind mini games for extra padding or just for other stuff to do. Like they had fishing in here. It wasn't bad. It was a little difficult at first, but it wasn't bad. Fishing was pretty fun. But only actual mini game that was actually a mini game. The rest of it were actually mini games and were stupid as hell. I mean, the one part of the game you had to do this was helping Belle win some sort of beach match. She's challenged to fight for the to be able to swim in the beach. I know, it's pretty dumb, man. And it's pretty much two girls in bikinis on a little raft pushing each other. So, pretty much fan service. And your job is to knock off the other girl. Sounds easy enough, I know. It's not. It took me like 40 fucking minutes. And you just have to take the fucking Wii remote, grab onto her, and try to throw her off. And if you do it, you gotta go, oh, I don't want to get caught. It dies in the water. So I'm trying to figure out how do I figure out how to do this. It would just be easy to have, when Bella butt slams her off over the edge, you just pull her a bit. But no, that would be too easy. You can't do it all the time. So, this goes on for a while. I was actually getting cramps in my wrist. I'm pretty sure my wrist is still sore from actually playing this game. It just causes like wrist moving, and my wrist was numb after that round. And the whole thing is just mini games. It close to the end, you go talk to the princess, and the whole thing's dancing. So now you're just dancing through it, which I don't mind some dancing. And the only game I actually didn't mind dancing was Sly Cooper. I think the third one. Because he's a thief, he has to try to break into the place. So by doing the dancing, he's tricking Carmelita. But I'll get off Sly because I'm not doing that game review. So there's a little bit of dancing part, and it's kind of like the Guitar Hero kind of thing, where you just pretty much push a button to do it. A B A B B A B A B A A B A B, that kind of stuff. And in order to go dance with the princess, and I swear, maybe I'm wrong, but I swear all you had to do is just walk up and start dancing with the princess. I don't think you had to do all this dancing shit. Maybe I was wrong. I didn't try it, but I'm pretty sure you could do that. But so let's move on. So there's really no major story plot. Now there was a story plot, but they didn't really focus on it. They kind of just went around it, just started using mini games, and just they didn't go through it pretty much. They could have easily made this a pretty good story plot. It was there. The story plot was there. Crystal Bears, they were pretty much, in a way, somewhat gods. They could die, but they had special powers. Pretty much magic. And they were able to do a lot of stuff. Everyone had a different power. And it turned out that there's only like a few left on whatever planet they're on. So, okay, that's pretty cool. Only a few bears. Eventually, through the game, you realize that there's more than a few. You end up fighting the guy who trains him. But game advances a little bit. And now, the plot is, a bit of the plot is that the Uke is after all the crystal idols, I'm guessing. Which is good. Classic Final Fantasy game, hunting crystals. Yep. I'm not going to argue. Most RPGs or any game like that, it's usually you're after crystals. I didn't care. Go with it. But then it just gets, but they don't really focus. They focus a bit on it, but they don't do enough. There's no you hunting down the crystals. Then I found it was just draggy. They didn't make any of the clips more exciting or anything. I didn't really have any emotional connection to any of the characters. I couldn't connect to them. And when you play a game, you want to feel connected. You want to feel involved with the game. You want to make it feel intense. And I didn't feel that. I did not feel involved. I kind of felt like a third party. Which, you are a third party, but you really don't want to feel that. You want to feel like you're there. You're the main character. You're one of those characters. And I didn't. In the ending, you're supposed to get the feeling that Leo is dead. Sorry for the spoiler, but you're supposed to get that feeling that he's dead, because nobody has seen him. And you know what? I couldn't care less. If he was dead, great. If he wasn't, great. I didn't care. And you'll find out if he's really dead or not in the cutscene. I'm not going to say if he is or not. But you're supposed to get that feeling. And I didn't care. I was just like, oh, yes, the game is done. But, okay, so let's move on. I have a long list of stuff to go through. Okay, so I covered it ran mainly on subplots. The controls were a pain in the ass. I mean, just, it was so stiff and unfun. I was focusing on moving my arm too much and playing the game. Okay, so I'm going to go to the people get pushed and you get pushed. Now, the people in this game are fucking dumb. Like, they'll just ram into you or anybody. They start running and you go flying. They ram into you. I was literally traveling like across the platform. So let's say this is the platform. I'm wandering across. Some fat lady, no offense to fat people, but these guys are pretty fat in this game, rams into me, okay? I go, no, this probably takes about 5 minutes to walk this. She rams into me. I go flying all the way back to the door. That's how hard she rams into me. So the guards automatically assume something's going on. So the guards decide to run in there and intervene. And instead of stopping her, they ram into me again. And I go flying again. So now you're just being tossed around like a fucking rag doll. And, oh no, when you get hit, you usually drop money. And that pisses me off too. I understand a little bit of consequence. But if people just bump into you, that bugs the shit out of me. Now, the music. Now, the music did have some good parts to it. But when I say music, I'm really talking about the sound effects of the people. That was fucking annoying. Everybody made like a laughing sound, like yeah, those little Moogle little fuckers that they just make that little squeaking sound they make, and this gets annoying. And no, you hear everybody, so you'll hear like all at the same fucking time, and it's like, oh god. If you walk by somebody, all you hear is that they're mad at you for some reason, or yay, that they like you or something. I don't know what the point of that was. I did not see a point in it, but whatever. It bugged me. So one good thing with the Final Fantasy is leveling. Final Fantasy is a leveling game. You feel like you feel like you're getting stronger. There's no leveling in this game, and the only stats you have are your equipment you buy or make. Which I like the idea of having to make your stuff or buy them really high price. That's cool and all. I accept that. But when that's your only stats, that's pretty bad. I like the idea, but it kind of bugged me. And all the Crystal Chronicles games are dungeon crawlers. Meaning, if you don't know what dungeon crawler is, it's pretty much what it says. You're going to dungeons, hacking and slashing, killing things. The first one was really good for that. The second one, you did that. You went through dungeons and you killed things. Fun. I liked it. So when you play this one, that's what you're expecting: dungeon crawling, killing things. And if you look in the back, you see he has a sword in that picture. And in the scene where you're being chased and you and Belle fall off the cliff, if they get too close, you pull out a sword, I don't know where, and you fend for yourself. I'm pretty sure he pulls the sword out of his fucking ass, because it just comes out of nowhere. And that just... And that just made it that's covering kind of both parts. No dungeon crawling and bad fight scenes. And what I mean with bad fight scenes, and I'm gonna try to shift this a little bit, is that in most dungeon crawlers you have a sword or a spear or some magic or something, and you're going through dungeons hacking and slashing and killing things. This here, you're just throwing things around. I don't mind having that. That is a pretty cool ability. But when this is how you fight, it was fucking boring. At first, like, oh, cool, I can grab things and throw them. After a while, it's just like, okay, I'm bored. I don't want to be throwing shit around anymore. And they could have easily made this game pretty much 100 times better if they had a fucking sword. He has a sword. He has used it. Pulled out his fucking ass, but he used the sword. They could easily make it almost like the Dragon Quest for the Wii, where if you swing the sword, you slash. Easily added that into it. You walk into a monster, you start swinging your Wii controller, and your guy just starts slashing. That would have been fucking awesome. That would have easily made this one of the best games of the year, just that little feature. Even if the story mode sucked, that would easily boost it up quite a bit. But it didn't. And if they would have had the feature where you grab stuff and threw it included, so if I'm... What? Alright, go ahead. So if you're going around slashing your sword and... Oh yeah, so I like the idea that they have the magic in it, where you can grab something and throw it, but they should have had something else with it. So if I'm slashing my sword, some enemies over there, I should be able to pull them towards me or throw them away, that kind of stuff. It should be included. I found the... What else? Well, also, in Final Fantasy games in general, how come every bad guy is blindingly obvious? I don't know, maybe it's just me. And I found the ending battle scene, it kind of copies Sonic the Hedgehog. And that fact is that they gathered all the crystals, Chaos Emeralds. The crystals gave them special powers, like the Chaos Emerald, and turned them into super mode, like the Chaos Emeralds. Making this guy into Super him, into Super Yale, or whatever his name is, and making him into Super whatever he is. And I found that just copied Sonic the Hedgehog. But worse, because Sonic the Hedgehog was actually fun. So, now, I'll get into my... I'm almost done this. I'm trying to just need to wrap this up and then do my final thoughts. So, for graphics, I can't say they were bad. Graphics were pretty good. They could have done like more better animation on parts of the body, But that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. Just for the graphics. Gameplay, I mean, it was alright. Could have been better, as I said. Just the wrist pain. That knocked down the gameplay by a bunch, just because I swear I'm gonna probably get arthritis because of this game. I gave it a 3. Something tell me I should have gave it a 2, but I'm gonna be generous and give it a 3. Just because, I mean, it was there. It was decent. I played games a lot worse. So let's go with the sound effects. So, the voiceovers. So where they actually talked and, you know, the words came out. That was actually well done, especially for a Final Fantasy game. And I gave it a 5. So I have sounds in the 3 categories: voice, background, and soundtrack. Voice is them talking. Background is like the background music, and like that's like everything around you, like the people talking or the weird voices the townfolk made. And the soundtrack, which is the music you hear in the background, like the do 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 do, that kind of stuff. So voices, I gave it a 5 because it was pretty good. They couldn't have really done better. Background, as I said, that bugged me. I gave it a 2. They really didn't have to have every character make grunt and weird sounds. And soundtrack, I gave it a 3. The background music was pretty interesting. I wouldn't buy it, but it was pretty catchy. Presentation. Well, when I see this commercial, I thought it looked pretty fun. And so it made me kind of want the game. But then I've heard a lot of people say it was terrible. It's a terrible game. So that knocked down the presentation just because nobody liked it. So it was what I thought it looked good by the commercial to what people thought of it. They did not like it. So I gave it a 2 for presentation. If you want, it could be a 3, but I'm gonna go with 2. The storyline. The story was there. They really didn't. They're just pretty much bad gaming, but the story was there. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Now, replayability. Would I ever replay this game again? No, I won't. I don't even. I'm getting rid of this game. I'm just putting that out there. I'm gonna bring this back to where I got it, trade it back in. It sucked. It was bad. And I can never see myself replaying it. I think the only way I would replay it is if somebody paid me. And in that case, I still have to go on the replayability because you're paying me to play a terrible game. So pretty much, graphics is 4, gameplay is 3, sound is 5, 2, and 3, total of 10. Presentation is 2, storyline is 3, and replayability is 0. And now, how much I would pay for this game. To me, it's a rental. It's a rental game. But of course, you might not be able to rent it anymore. So, money ranking. As you can tell by the price up there, it's $15, but I got it for $13.50 because I have a special membership card. So, was I happy with that $13.50 or $15, however much? No, I was not. I did not like that. I felt like that was actually ripping me off. I found the second one was better, just because it was funner. But for $10, it would not have been bad, I guess, but no. I think for $10, I would still be frustrated. I would pay $5 for this, and that's actually putting it pretty high. I think $3 would actually be good, but to make it even, like 5, 10, 15, 20, that kind of stuff, I'll put it at 5. Like there is some good stuff in this game. The cutscenes are pretty good, and it's interesting, but I mean, if you're a fan of like a lot of like anime stuff, like a lot of like, if you like a lot of anime characters and you're a fan of like the hentai kind of stuff, this might not have been bad because it does have a lot of like ass shots and female women undressing and that kind of stuff. So you might like that. I mean, it was probably one of the best parts in the game just because, well, you suffered through this game for like 5 hours. You deserve a little something. And every time they showed Belle there, she had her ass at the screen. But yeah, so I rate this about $5. If you picked this up for $5, it's not the best $5 you could spend, but you would be happy. Now, one thing that did kind of bug me was the character Sid. Now, I'm pretty sure I've heard Sid in a bunch of other games of Final Fantasy. Is it the same Sid? I don't think so. But it seems like there's like 20 Sids in this fucking Final Fantasy game. Can't they think of a new name? I don't know. But all in all, I found this was a waste of money. I was disappointed. I did not want to play this. I went into it with high hopes. I know people said it's bad, but I don't go into a game hating it. If I come out of the game hating it, that's a different story. But I went into this game wanting to like it, and I came out hating it. And that bugged me. Well, what's kind of interesting with this game, though, I will say, was that you were able to take pictures and save them on a memory card. I don't think I formatted my memory card, so it didn't work. But you could. It's not really a major feature in the game, but you could. It was interesting if you like that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much my review on Final Fantasy Chronicles: The Crystal Bearer. And one more thing that does bug me about this game is the fact that they beat you over the head with the fact that he's a crystal bearer. Every scene, I'm pretty sure they say, you're a crystal bearer. You're a crystal bearer. If you're a crystal bearer, you should be able to do that. Oh, not bad for a crystal bearer. I'm better than you, crystal bearer. Oh, it just gets annoying. You automatically assume he's a crystal bearer by the fucking title. And then afterwards, they just knock you down and just start pounding the shit out of you with it. You're a crystal bearer. You're a crystal bearer. You're a crystal bearer. You're a crystal bearer. And if you get tired of me repeating that, that's how this game is. They repeat it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And that bugs me. And it turns out every fucking guy in the game is pretty much a crystal bearer. He is a crystal bearer. The main villain. What a shock. The princess is the crystal bearer, but apparently the laws of crystal bearers not being able to use the powers, I guess it was in effect. Apparently this guy was allowed to walk around and throw shit around, but apparently everybody in the game was a fucking crystal bearer. The only one who were not was Belle and your friend Keist. Everybody else was a crystal bearer. I guess what I did like a little bit, just for my final thoughts here, is the only thing I had fun with was throwing people. I just walked around town throwing people around. And I actually got like 5 achievements doing that. I don't care about achievements, but I'm just walking around grabbing people. Throwing them here, throwing them over there, picking them up, throwing them against people. But that